So Kumbhamuni started explaining to Sikhidvas the starting of the creation, the thought process. Of course, it is only a thought process, but how did it start? So one has to think of the previous one. Previous one becomes the cause for the present one. Everywhere that is the seen. So Kumbhamuni was giving the destruction of the previous creation and then the substratum, the stage for a drama remains as it is, as it was, and on that just like previous drama, the present drama will start. So that becomes the cause for the present. The past becomes cause for the present. And in the present drama, that means the present creation which doesn't exist at all, only imaginary. They are the primordial cause because becomes the dualistic starting in dualistic way. Then only we know in relative world when there is two, one becomes the cause for the other. In this way it goes on in a cycle. So here, this is second. Of course, the one is always present, and the nature of the absolute one, which is known as unmanifested, which is stable, in the end of last creation, all the creatures, they disappear in that unmanifested nature, which is otherwise known as Maya Saval Brahman, the causal body or the appearing body, that is called dualistic starting of the creation, so-called creation. So Kumbhamuni gives the starting point when the nature is not moving, that is in our example of drama and stage. The stage is there, the substratum is there, that means the absolute is ever present, but the drama has not started. Then how does the drama start? Some actors come and play the role of some bodies. They are not the real identities of the story. Story is imaginary, and in that some personalities will be there in the story, and that will be shown as a drama by some actors. So some of the present boys or some actors, they take the role of the personalities described in the story. So the person, say for example, when the boy Shibu plays the role of Rama in Ram Lila drama, Shibu is a boy presently available in the village, and he is not real Rama, but Rama is a personality in Ramayana, the main actor, main role. He is the hero of the story. So Shibu takes the role of, plays the role of Lord Rama. Now this point we have to understand clearly. Shibu plays the role of Rama. Now Shibu was one and now he has become two. He has accepted the form of the identity of Ram, and he, for a present being, he thinks I am Rama. That is called attribute, adhyas. That adhyas or attribute becomes the second one. First one is a real boy who is not Rama, and second aspect is Rama, which is not present here, imaginary Rama. So Shivu takes the form of Rama and plays the role of Rama. This is how one becomes two, and one becomes the cause for the other. Shivu becomes cause for the personality Rama. Where from Rama you see, where from Rama came? It is only Shivu, which is now hidden. You see the form of Rama, which is made up, and that is called attribute, adhyas, which is not real. This is how our ego goes on changing the form of intellect, mind, prana, and all these senses and everything, and becomes the doer, enjoyer, and also he goes on changing, identifying itself with everyone who comes to this stage, means comes before us. Ego becomes everything. Ego becomes the body, ego becomes the senses, and he plays the role of everyone in different ways, one after the other. This way, the dualistic drama starts. One takes, assumes, or superimposes as something else, which is not here, and he plays the role. This is how the attribute becomes the second. So from there onward starts the dualistic creation, movements, and thereby it grows every now and then. The evolution process is ever going, unending. This world is unending. Really there is no starting. It started just as before. So Kumbha Muni indirectly explains to Sikhidvas the methods given in the Vedas. Yatha purvam akalpayat. Just as before, the Creator Brahma started imagining the creation which appeared in names and forms. So there is no such real ego which we have to renounce, or there is no such real subconscious mind, chitta, which we have to renounce. That was the most difficult point for Sikhidhwaj. Though he was understanding chitta is the root cause of all the miseries of the world, then how to renounce it? He didn't know the method how to renounce the ego and the subconscious mind. Now Kumbha Muni explained everything by the knowledge, real knowledge of the object, the chitta, the movement, or the ego which identifies every moment with the changing phenomena. I am this, I am this. Everything is imaginary. So knowledge only gives a flash to see the reality. All these are only superimposed or attributed. Our great Guru Shankaracharya gives very often the example of snake superimposed on the rope in dark night. We don't see the reality, the rope. We imagine, we see the imaginary snake instead of the rope, and we are afraid. For the fear, the cause is snake, but snake is not there, but it is superimposed on the rope, the reality. Reality is not visible because of misunderstanding, and we take for granted that snake is there, which is the cause for the fear or miseries. In this way, cause and effect, the law of nature started. This is what explained by the Guru Kumbha Muni to the king Sikhidhwaj. इस तरह का माया सबल जो अधिष्ठान रूप पद हैं, उसमें पूर्व के संस्कारों के उद्बोध से उद्भूत हुआ तत् प्राणियों के कर्म को अनुसरण करने वाला कर्म in the subtle form, the impressions of the previous creation, that is called karma. Karma means the impression, subtle impressions carried from the last creation. Now it was dormant in the unmanifested nature, and when it starts manifesting, then the creation starts. That becomes the cause for the present creation. कर्म को अनुसरण करने वाला अध्यास जनित के विश्वरूप का प्रकाश है. All this world is the manifestation of that superimposed, which is superimposed names and forms, which is based upon the previous subtle impressions, where it ended in the end of last creation. And that total memories or the impressions, that is in a form, imaginary form, that is called the Hiranyagarbha or the creator Brahma, and that came out from the unmanifested nature of the Absolute. And that becomes the whole universe. That appears to be so, it is called also the light, prakash, effulgence. वही नारायण से उत्पन्न हिरण्यगर्भ का अहम भाव रूप ज्ञान का अध्यास है. That is the false attribute on the Brahma, the creator, or the ego, universal ego, which is otherwise also known as Hiranyagarbha, and that becomes the cause for this present creation. And that is ignorance only. That is ignorance only. It is not real. Ignorance means some subtle impressions, and that together known as the universal ego, which appeared as something, as the attribute given to the nature of the absolute truth. In this way, the nature becomes the cause for the present creation. Yes, yes, come on.
The Hiranyagarbha is not the absolute.
No, no. It is the ego of the absolute. Ego is false identity. It is not at all there. That is called attribute. Just as the snake is not there, rope is reality. So also this ego or Hiranyagarbha or Tejas, all these are not at all there. They are imaginary forms. Imaginary forms. In reality, there is no such Brahma, the creator. Nobody is there. So, this is how one becomes the cause for the other. That same thing is known as Virat also. Virat means the biggest one. And it identifies with the objects. Objects means its own body in multiple form, its own imaginary multiple aspects or names and forms, which are called further, which are called objects. Just as I see my hand, the body sees the hand becomes object. It is not other than the body. It is one of the multiple aspects of the body. Similarly, the Hiranyagarbha, or the creator, he sees his own body as the universe in a multiple form. Just as you see your own body, so also the Hiranyagarbha sees his own body in the form of universe, and that will be with some name and form. They become the objects of the seer, and the ego starts identifying itself with these objects. I forget my body, I just see the hand by the eyes. So, body sense is forgotten. Then only the eyes can see the hand. In this way, something goes on, something or other goes on by some way or other. And this is called world. And this is how this dualism starts. And in that, one will be opposite to the other, because there are two, they are dependent on each other, and then qualities and changes, all these together is known as time, space and conditions, and all total is nothing but the nature which is in activation, which is in action, which is in motion. This motion is known as the continuous growth of the world. Energy is ever growing. That is the declaration of the modern scientists, and the philosophers also. They have declared it long before. The nature is ever growing. The energy is ever growing, because it has to change. Then only it is seen as energy. If it is not in action, it is never called energy, because it is stagnant. So it becomes identical with the energy holder. It will not have any different name other than the energy holder. In this way, sometimes it appears for some time, and then all this creation starts with dualistic changing law and order, that is called law and order of the nature, which cannot be changed. It is ever changing. The changing phenomena cannot change. If it changes, then two negatives become plus, and the creation gets destroyed, and the absolute equilibrium, that is the remnants, and that becomes that is the absolute truth, which is absolutely stable, and the movement is called nature. Motion is called nature. That is also known as energy. And similarly, at the same time, we know it as cause and effect, or action and reaction, or the names and forms, or the changing phenomena, or it is also called time, space and conditions. We name it differently. As we see it, we name it. Same process, and which is imaginary only, not real. The reality cannot change. In this way, Kumbha Muni explained thoroughly to Sikhidhwaj. अध्यास पक्ष में अधिष्ठान की सत्ता ही से कार्य और कारण दोनों में सत्ता का निर्वाह हो जाने के कारण उनमें सत्ता की प्रतीति ज्ञान से उसका बाध और सत्वस्तु की कुटस्थता अनुपपन्न नहीं हो सकती, यह आशय रख करके दृष्टांत पूर्वक अध्यस्त की अधिष्ठान से अभिन्नता बतलाते हैं. Now, Kumbha Muni starts to explain the deeper meaning of all these phenomena analytically. अध्यास पक्ष में when the attribute is considered, then अधिष्ठान की सत्ता ही से कार्य और कारण दोनों में सत्ता का निर्वाह हो जाता है. When the substratum is there and it assumes some other form, we forget the stage, we see the drama on the stage. Without the stage, there cannot be any drama. So, we can say the stage takes the form of all these. That is adhyas. And in the drama also, one assumes the form of other, plays the role of some other person. So in this way, adhishthan, the first reality, when takes the attribute on himself, then we start karya karan, the cause and effect. दोनों में सत्ता की निर्वाह हो जाता. Now both appears to be real. Shibu was real, he is hidden in Rama. Rama becomes real. And Shibu also is real. We cannot deny Shibu, the boy who is playing the role of Rama. So both becomes real. So the cause and effect both appear to be real. Because of this, ये दोनों में सत्ता आ जाने के कारण उनमें सत्ता की प्रतीति होता है. We think both are real, and on this knowledge, the reality gets forgotten. सत वस्तु की कुटस्थता अनुपपन्न नहीं हो सकती, even though the appearance of though two appears to be true. Even then we cannot forget the reality. We have to accept the reality. सत वस्तु कुटस्थता का उपपन्न नहीं हो रहा है इधर. It is hidden, the reality gets hidden, and the cause and effect, they appears to be real. Hey Mahatman, Kumamuni said, "O great one, जैसे वायु और वायु का स्पंदन, इन्हें दोनों में भेद नहीं है, वैसे ही शून्य रूपता और आकाश रूपता के सदृश चैतन्य रूपता और अहम रूपता में भेद नहीं है." So Kumamuni gives two examples. One is air, the other is the sky. The air is not different from the touch. The air we understand as air. When it moves, if there is no movement, air is no air. When it moves, then we have the touch of it. We feel it is air. Who has seen the wind? Neither you nor I. But when the tree is not there held, the wind passes by. By its movement only we know what is wind, or else there is no wind. So the movement and the wind, they are not different from each other. They are one only. Similarly, the sky and emptiness. Here, when we come to emptiness and we think the sky is empty, we forget the real meaning of emptiness. What do you mean by emptiness? Emptiness is called oneness, where nothing else is there within, isn't it? Emptiness means oneness. And oneness also is called solidity. Solid means where there is nothing else within it. The stone is solid, isn't it? Stone is solid. That means there is nothing else other than stone inside the stone. And sky is empty. That means nothing is there. That is called empty. Now see, emptiness is nothing but solidity, oneness. One will not hold the other within it. If there will be two, one becomes the holder, the other becomes the hold. But when there is one only, there is no holder, there is no hold object, so it is one, and one means emptiness, one means solidity. And how do you see the sky to be empty? Because we don't consider our earth with names and forms and all these solid objects which is in the sky. We think sky is empty, and to its true sense, sky holds everything within it, and whatever is within the sky, everything is sky only. It is not other than the sky. Then only it can hold it, and then only it can be empty, and that is also solidity or one, all-pervading truth. That is how sky is all-pervading. Whatever you see in the sky, within every atom the sky or the ether is found there. Even in the atom, there is emptiness. So it is ever present everywhere. When the sky is limited by some lines, it becomes form, and there will be comparison or movements. Comparison is movement, and then we see some other names and forms different from the sky, which is in reality not different from the sky. In this way we can go to the absolute truth, which is all-pervading and absolutely one without a second. Whatever is seen outside or inside, or with names and forms, or without it, everything is not other than the absolute truth. They are just appearances. Just as the wind when gets steadied, no movement is there. That is called sky. Sky is nothing but air when it moves. So we say the wind is originated from the sky. Sky is the source. That means when the sky moves, that is named as wind, nothing else. Analytically, when we go to the central meaning of our sayings, whatever we say, we reach only in the absolute central one. There cannot be any two. हे महात्मन, जैसे वायु और वायु का स्पंदन, the vibration in the wind and wind, they are not different from each other, they are identical. And also the second example, the sky and its emptiness, they are one and the same. And इसी के सदृश चैतन्य रूपता और अहम रूपता में भेद नहीं. So, in the same way, when we go still higher, still deeper, the awareness and the ego, there is no difference. When awareness is aware of awareness, that is called ego, I. Then appears the I. I am aware of myself. That is called I. That is called ego. That is the origin of ego. When awareness is aware of awareness, then starts appearing the I, that is ego. That ego originates from there. That is the root of ego. And there is no difference between the awareness and the ego. They are identical. यहाँ पहला संसर्गाध्यास में दृष्टांत है और दूसरा तादात्म्याध्यास में दृष्टांत है. संसर्ग means association. When one gets associated with the other, then it appears as the other. And when one takes the form of other, then it appears to be other. और निरपेक्ष होने के कारण वायु और आकाशत्व अधिष्ठान के दृष्टांत है तथा देश सापेक्ष होने के कारण स्पंद और शून्यता अध्यस्त के दृष्टांत है. यह जानना चाहिए. These two examples Kumbhamuni gives to the king to show how the adhyas, the attribute, is accepted by the reality. The wind accepts the vibration, that is its nature. It becomes one with the vibration. Then it manifests. In the same way, the sky and its emptiness is the attribute which is seen in the sky itself. It is not different from each other. So now we can easily come to the conclusion, which is not needed here now and not explained here. We can say the world and the truth, they are identical. There is no difference between the two. World is not other than the absolute truth. So this is what said in the essence of Yoga Vasishtha. Harireva jagat jagadeva harihi. Hari to jagato nahi bhinna tanu. Iti yasya mati paramartha gati sannaraha bhavasagaram uddharati. There is no difference between the Hari, Hari means the truth, and Jagat, the truth and the world. They are identical, they have no difference. The world is God, the God is world. They are one and the same. One who understands this, he is ever liberated. There is no question of attaining liberation. He is ever liberated. Only acceptance of it and experience of it. यह असद कार्यवादियों के मत में दीक्षित न हो जाए, इस अभिप्राय से केवल अधिष्ठान सत्ता से ही कार्य की ब्रह्मा में त्रैकालिक सत्ता है, यह भी दृष्टांत देकर बतला रहे हैं कुंभ मुनि। Now another point to be established here. Karyavadi, one who accepts karma, the action is the root cause of the universe. Of course, now itself we had discussed it. We have to accept the theory of action and reaction. That is the nature. When you have accepted the nature, then you have to accept the law of it. Law is action and reaction. This is nothing other than the motion. The same action becomes reaction in the course of time, space and conditions. For example, the mango seed becomes mango and many other seeds in the course of time. So, the cause becomes effect and the action becomes reaction. In the same way, everything. But we see the difference in the relative world, then only we can have our transactions, giving and taking in the relative world. Or else nobody can do anything, he has to keep quiet only. Action is possible when you accept the law of action and reaction. So here, Karyavadi, the people who accept the law of action and reaction, who are they? Everyone in the world, in the creation. Because the whole creation is based upon this law. Karva pradhan vishwa kari rakha, jo jas karai tas phal chakha. All the scriptures, the essence of all the scriptures say the same. They declare the one truth. The action is the control of the whole universe. Action will have reaction, and reaction again becomes action for other reaction. In this way the cycle of world goes on. That is same thing which is known as cause and effect.